The relationships that form the emotional heart of our lives are those of mutual concern and shared purpose, right? When we have a mutual concern, it brings us together. When we have a shared purpose, it brings us together, right? Mutual concern, I guess, that's easy to come together, right? But mutual concern, as humans, the human level is the easiest place to bring us together, right? So when I go out and exercise, easy for me to say greet everybody, greet the security people. If nothing else, we're all humans. They can at least receive a greeting, good morning, how are you? Compliments of the season. You're looking fine. Oh, that brings us together as a place of mutual concern, you can say. And there's another level of relationship where there's a shared purpose, right? We have a shared purpose with people I exercise with because it's within the estate. We all want our estate to be nice. There's a commonality of shared purpose. It might be in a church, in an organization. The people I work with, we have a shared purpose around the goals that we're working together. But those are different things that can bring us together in relationship. We need to see ourselves as belonging to one another, right? See ourselves as belonging to one another. Are caught from the same branch. We're all caught from God, right? No matter how busy you are, you must take time to make the other person feel important. We hold that to one another. Never be too much in a hurry that we don't show other people that we love them, we care about them. And I have to say that to maybe twice or thrice to myself. In generality, I love people, but when I'm busy, I could be blind to human beings. That's a weakness from my side. I know that, so I work on it. We all have our own weak points, and we need to work on it. Right? Life is suffering, punctuated by moments of pure majesty. Be sure to live. It's up to us to live. Nobody can live for you. It's a decision we all have to make to live. All right. We have to pay the price for it. We have to sow when we need to sow, because you have no right to harvest if you don't sow. Right. The purpose of a rose is to be a rose. I love that. I just love that quote, by Teach Nach Har. The purpose of a rose is to be a rose. The purpose of Akin is to be Akin. I love a quote that's tied to Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga would say that, I'm going to paraphrase it. He says, when each time she wakes up in the morning, she says that, I've come to walk the walk of Lady Gaga. No, I've not come to walk the walk of Beyonce. So that's why a lot of people are confused. That's why a lot of people are living less than they should. They wake up in the morning and they are saying, I come to walk the walk of my bishop, of my pastor, or my boss, or whatever. That's stupid. God created every one of us to work our work. Yeah, you are endowed to work the work of you. You're God's handyman and the creation. God, you are God's workmanship. But before he created you, he knew there was a work to be done. So he created you to do that work. To do that work. You are shaped to do that work. So what you need to do is know you, because you're endowed to leave you, not to leave someone else. To leave you. That's what you're endowed to. The purpose of a rose is to be a rose. The purpose of a human being is to be a human being. The purpose of Akin is to do Akin. The purpose of Akin is to walk the walk of Akin. Right? Your purpose is to be yourself. You don't have to run anywhere to become someone else. You're wonderful just as you are. Your faith is only as strong as the test it survives. That's important. That's important. Don't forget to say that if your strength fails you in a day of adversity, it's not the adversity, it's your strength. If your strength fails you in a day of adversity, it's not the adversity, it's your strength. You were meant to have the strength to overcome the adversity. If your strength fails, it's because you did not build the strength you were supposed to have built when you were supposed to have built it. You failed. You failed not because of the adversity, because you did not build the strength you were supposed to have built before the adversity came. Every day, build strength. Every day, become a better you. Because it's going to be tested. Every day, build strength. Every day, become a better you because it's going to be tested. The storm will come to test your foundation. The adversity will come. They will sure come. And they don't tell you before they come. Your job is to build strength. Your job is to ensure that the house you are building every day is being built on the rock. You're not deceiving yourself building on sand. Because the storm that will come will not be a fake storm. It will be a real storm. The adversity that will come will not be a fake adversity. It will be a real adversity. It will test the genuineness of your life. The quieter you become, the more you are able to hear. Right? So that probably goes into the place of mindfulness, right? Don't ever let your mind be too occupied, don't let it run riot on you. That's a key word. The scripture will say that, be sober, be well collected, be temperate, have control over your mind, and be vigilant. Don't be careless. Why? We have an enemy. We have an enemy. We have an enemy who wants to run riot on you. And the only defense you have is that you have control over your mind. When you don't have control over your mind, you give an entrance to the enemy to run riot on you and to overcome you. Right? Our life's work is to discern our core purpose, to hear the call, and then to do everything we can to live into it for whatever time we have. We're here to do the work for which we're here for. We're here to live our purpose. Don't miss that. Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and then go and do that. Because what the word needs is people will come alive. So come alive. Just be you. You're here to express yourself, not to impress the world. You're here to be you. That's what the world needs. The world needs you. Because you are not a mistake. You were created to do a work, to fulfill purpose. The world needs that purpose. The world needs your why. Be the person that fulfills your why, and the world will be blessed. Right? Every person has a special mission specific to the time and place in which he or she lives. We all have a mission. Have a mission here. And that's what part of what I'm doing here right now. Right? And I hope you're getting blessed by it. All I'm doing here is doing my purpose, doing my mission. And I can only hope that it's blessing somebody. Man cannot endure his own littleness unless he can translate it into meaningfulness on the largest possible level. Right? You say, my littleness becomes big because I can do this. I can make a difference in someone's life. Every day I'm always posting. I live on social media if you know me. I'm there on Facebook. I'm there on Threads. I'm there on Instagram Live, just as I'm there right now. I'm there on Facebook. I'm there on Twitter. Right? I'm there on my blog site. There are those that are scared of social media, but you see, that's my own littleness. That's my own place. And what makes it big for me is that it's making an impact, it's making a difference in people's life. Because I get the testimonies, and that's what gives me joy. That's what gives me strength to do more of it. Because I know I'm making a difference. I'm not going to be here forever, but for the time I'm here, I want to impact someone's life. That's what gives me joy to do it. Right? That's that part for you also. Yours might not be on social media. Wherever it is, be you. Be you. Be a blessing. Be a blessing. It might be small, but it's big to the people that you impact. Right? Start by serving. Serve wherever you find yourself. Serve wherever you find yourself. Chapter 5 talks about grieve and leave. The main impetus or summary of chapter 5 was to understand that we have that dual purpose in living, grieving and living. You don't grieve, and you have no life. You don't life, and you are not able to grieve. But we're able to do this dual purpose for ourselves and to one another. We're able to rejoice with those that rejoice. But while rejoicing, we don't over rejoice that we will lose the place and the ability and the sense to grieve with those that are grieving. We don't also grieve so much that we lose the sense, the blessing, the opportunity, the magic of the moment to rejoice with those that are rejoicing. It's been able to do this dual process in the stream of life. Understanding there's a season, there's a place, there's a time to rejoice. And there's a season, there's a place, there's a time to sorrow. Important thing is that you don't allow any of these to have control or have mastery over your life, but you are the one controlling and having a mastery over them, knowing when, where, how to bring and use which tool, right? That's what's important, right? Not be some of these sadists, that religious sadists that just think that you have to sorrow all the days of their life. They will say Jesus never laughed, sadists. That's not of God. The devil's got you on speed dial if you're that kind of person, right? There's a place to rejoice. There's a place to sorrow. You need to know when, where, and how, right? So your joy is your sorrow masked, and the self-same well from which your laughter rises was often filled with tears. So says Kyle Gibran. He talks about death and life. Pretty much still going back to that Japanese sense of the yin and the yang. It talks about life and death being the yin and the yang of life, that they flow into one another like the river flows into the sea, right? Being able to understand how grief flows into life or rejoicing, and life flows into grief. The whole part of life. And it's the ability, the mastery of knowing how to use them to be a blessing to one another, right? Don't be so carried away by sorrow that you don't know how to rejoice. Don't be so carried away by rejoicing, you don't know how to sorrow. Yes, rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. That does not mean that I would not be there for someone that is sorrowing. Amen. So life is a secret. You must mourn, but to mourn too much, to live in perpetual deprivation, is simply wrong. Instead, the challenge is to find a way to grieve and live. So says Rabbi Yehoshua. Life is a sacred fusion of sorrow and celebration, but all of it is holy, right? It's a sacred fusion. So take joy breaks. Take joy breaks. Don't let joy overcome you. Don't let sorrow overcome you. Know which tool to use when and how.